Vinny Holiday I saw on CNN. More footage from Uvalde was released, and the parents are from there are mad at the leaker. That's disturbing because the leaker is not the problem.
Are the parents mad at the leaker? I saw some, like the mayor maybe say that they shouldn't have released it before the parents got a chance to see it. But the question then is, why didn't you show the parents earlier than this long after the case?
Right.
So I'm not sure if that's quite an accurate representation.
I mean, we have this video. I imagine many of you have seen it already. I don't know, frankly, like, I don't know. It is just, we're not going to play any of the really disturbing parts anyways.
If you want to see the full footage, like the first minute and 45 is you see the shooter enter the school. You see him go all the way. Like, I mean, I don't know. Do you want to play this, Sam?
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I don't, I just think it's sort of just porn at this point. I mean, on some level.
I don't think so.
I mean, well, I guess it's showing. All right, let's show it.
Well, I mean, one thing to note is they edited out the screams of children.
But we're not even going to play that part. Like, starting at, I really tried to be, when I was, sending this. Yeah, right. So, I don't know. I think it's valuable to see these guys playing on their phones and squirting hand sanitizer into their hands. So if you can pull this up, just the image really quickly, if you can see where, like, the shooter entered towards the back of this hallway there, not the end, but a classroom near where those three cops in the back are standing, essentially. And what it showed was the shooter entering. You hear the gunfire, but the reporter, I think it's the Austin American-Statesman, the local paper edited out the screams.
So just to be clear, we can see the cops are in here and the shooter enters?
The video has already shown the shooter enter the classroom where those cops are positioned, just so you have an understanding.
Okay. And the cops are not there when the shooter enters.
No, but they arrive within minutes.
Okay.
And that we're going to show that after the shooting has already pretty much happened.
So just to be clear, are the cops in the hallway hearing the shooting?
Yes.
Okay, so they know the shooting is going on. So this isn't one of those situations like it's a hostage situation. We don't want to go in there and cause the guy to shoot. The guy is shooting. It's clearly not a hostage situation.
Although the bulk of the shooting did happen before they arrived, but they arrived within minutes, and there are still shots that rang out while they are in.
And they hear gunshots much later. And I just want to note the police manual says if you have more than one cop and there's a situation like this, you breach and stop the killing.
This is an active shooting situation. Yeah. This is not a hostage situation. And to be clear. And the other thing that I think people should, and it seems a little bit clinical, but keep in mind, because, it's easy. I think it's going to be, one of the things that the right is going to do is they're going to the extent that they can, scapegoat as small a cohort of these cops as possible, or they're going to blame a supervisor or whatever it is, because they want to avoid the obvious that, like, the cops should never have been in the situation. But you have to see all of this as a whole. 40% of this city's budget, 40% is dedicated to this police force. That doesn't even count the federal, border control people who came in and actually did some of this stuff. 40% of this city's operating budget is dedicated to essentially dealing with this situation. What we're looking at is both the existence of these weapons in the hands of whoever wants them at any time creates the force that dedicates 40% of the budget of this city to this institution of policing.
It's an arms race.
It's an arms race, and it's all a fraud. It is all a fraud. You want to stop this arms race, you disarm
both police and people.
Exactly. And I'm not saying
no guns, but
no guns for cops at all.
Weapons. No semi-automatic weapons.
To dedicate 40% of the budget of this city to this, and they can't They don't have the ability to stop this because
And all the training people, they had the training. They didn't follow the training. Sorry.
they don't want to get shot.
Yeah.
They don't want to get shot by somebody with that type of weapon.
And before we get into it, just to preface, there's gunfire, there's some feedback, so I'm lowering the volume a little bit. And there's some captions from the statesman. It shows about, the hour plus that they were basically loitering.
A trigger warning, as it were.
It's 19 minutes later.
31 minutes.
The shooter did not have body armor on, by the way, as they stock up with.
Keep standing there.
Gunman's heard firing 4 more rounds.
It's 48 minutes after they arrived. I mean, how many guys do they need to fill that hallway?
Now there's dozens, basically, people.
Look at the paramilitary equipment they have. This is now an hour later.
An hour.
Guys using hand sanitizer.
And this is when they breach the classroom.
77 whole minutes late.
I mean, there's no difference between this minute and the first minute. None.
Except more cops, basically. More people in the hallway.
A stupid, redundant amount of cops.
Really just horrible.
And we talked about this briefly, too, just to say that Uvalde police is also using some of their resources, according to the Texas Tribune, to harass Angeli Gomez, the woman who was handcuffed, escaped her handcuffs that she was trying to get into the school to save her children, breached the fence, and saved her kids from the shooter. And they are still harassing her because she spoke out about it. So that's also what part of that 40% budget's going to.
Oh, yeah, that money. That money's being well spent.